Hey guys, it's Becky. So it's been, almost a month into May, and I realized I haven't made the video to responding about Camp NaNoWriMo this year. Camp NaNoWriMo actually just ended, and it was for the whole month of April that you would have either a word count goal or a hours goal, basically to either finish a project, edit it, whatever, what have you. And my project was to edit my book. Now the book edits are almost completed, so of course I did not win, but I wanted to go over, I guess, because it was my first time, I wanted to make a video basically saying what I feel was good about the experience, what I feel was bad about the experience, what I would have done differently to get the most out of it, and my overall opinion. If you're in for it, let's get to it. So my goal was to finish my self-edit for the book. I needed to change the name. I needed to, because I didn't know what the name was going to be. Because I the Blood on Holy Water, I actually chose to move that to probably the sequel of this book. So the current title had to be changed. I wanted to nail down my top 3. Then I wanted to make a draft cover for each one. I do make book covers. So I'm just like, let me go ahead and make a book cover, see how I'm gonna finalize it, and see which one to me looks like the best look for this book cover. And I did that already. So I got I got all the way up to halfway of basically the whole book, and I had 7 handwritten chapters. So I managed to type up the whole book. I managed to type up everything, but I did not get to edit everything. So I had to go through each one for, of course, the continuity, tone, grammar, spelling, but that's just a self-edit. I have not gotten to a professional edit, and that's why I was doing Camp NaNoWriMo. I wanted to get it ready for beta reads, ready for my professional edit. Alright, so the first part I'm going to talk about are the good parts. I managed to get 75% done. To me, being at 75% my first time, that's pretty darn good. So I don't know what the usual percentage is for a first timer if they don't finish, but to me, I didn't think I was going to go past half. So I exceeded my own personal goal. What I loved about Camp NaNoWriMo was that I was with people that I was on the same level with professionally, and we had our own little cabin, and we got to exchange information and talk, and I could really go into detail and have, in my own little page, my own little project page, I just did daily diary entries. It actually brings me to a couple of the detractors to the process. The first one is that there really isn't a way to really hold yourself accountable other than the ETA of when you're going to finish. As soon as I type it in, I'm still in June. I'm busting my ass and I'm still in June the fuck. So I appreciate it because it allows me to say, okay, maybe I need to hit this double time. Maybe I need to hit this triple time. But I don't need to do that. I need to know, and there wasn't really a way that I could calculate it. And I went into detail. I went like, okay, about how long am I going to need to do this? And I calculated by hours. I did not do a word count. I went by hours because I was revising. So I went through, okay, so how long is this one going to take? Okay, so we're going to add up the amount of time that's going to take for all this to get done. And if I do 2 hours a day, how many hours is that going to be? If I do 1 hour a day on this, how much is that going to be? And then I added up each one, and I made that my goal for the whole month. And I did not reach it. Like I said, there's no real accountability for you, and there's no real accountability for your camp members either. Like, I didn't really have a whole lot of interaction with them. The most interaction I had was on Amber Craft's channel, and she was the one that was, I guess, the main one that was bringing all the people together into the cabin. And I will link her page below because she's amazing. She has a lot of writing reference information. If you don't really want to get like a hoity-toity response, you really want someone who's real, who's basically going through the same things that you are as a local writer and as a mom, as a working mom and a writer, please check Amber Craft out, because she's a working mom and a writer. She's fabulous, and she is a damn superhero. Okay, so I worked with her through the whole thing, and the majority of the work that I got done was during her Google Hangout chats. Either I was watching her or I had joined, and we were all just taking those 15 minutes and doing writing sprints on the chat. And it was so fulfilling because I felt like I was right there with them, because I literally was. And that would not, in my opinion, I don't know if that would have happened without Camp NaNoWriMo, but I know that it can happen without it. Those are the things that I really felt that were good and bad. As far as what I would have done differently, I probably would have planned differently, or found another way to track my goals. So if I'm trying to track different tasks, I would have just tracked the tasks. I'm not going to track hours or minutes, which is unfortunately what I did not like. Those are the only two ways that you can track your goals. I'm a task person. I don't track by actually getting a certain number of hours, even though I do track my hours. I do track my hours, but I want to make sure that the task is done. Because if I set my daily goal of writing work at 8 hours, which is my usual, I usually set it for 8 hours a day at least. But a lot of times when I have a task like formatting, revising a chapter, or looking through a tone or checking for continuity, it does not take more than an hour per chapter. And so that says, okay, you'll be able to finish it in 3 days. But what if I have a problem in those 3 days that I have to stop? I have a disorder. So if I have a chronic disease. So if I have to stop working, that doesn't say that I didn't get those hours in, so it was a complicated situation for me, because I did have a few days where I got sick, and I had a few days where I worked over my time, but because I had those specific tasks, and each task only had a certain number of hours, like for example, it took me 8 hours one day to work on one chapter, but I set aside 2 hours for each chapter. So instead of reaching my hour goal, I reached a chapter goal. And sure, you have those chapter goals, but they don't reflect the amount of time that you actually put into it. So really, you don't have the full amount of time that you expect to have, if that makes any sense. Overall, I loved basically the challenge of Camp NaNoWriMo. As far as would I do it again, probably not. Only because I prefer just having occasional write-ins with my writer pals. I love that so much more, and I love being able to test myself, but I think that I can find a way to test myself even better, whether it's, doing my own writing sprints at home. When I have a writing lockdown, I just set the whole day for my writing tasks. I write down, before I even start, I write down my writing tasks, and then I say, what I, at minimum, need to get done, what is most important, and basically go down the list of importance to write out what I need to do. And then basically I just go for it. I just get as many things accomplished as I can. And I think that what I can actually change is making my own writing sprints. I just set the timer and I say, okay, so we're going to hit this. We're not going to do anything else. We're going to close everything else, and we're just going to focus on this task. And we're going to hit hard, and we're going to go for 15 minutes. And then at 15 minutes, we're going to see how much we did, how many words, how many pages, how far I got in my draft, if I was doing a draft for a cover or something like that. So it really depends, but I think that it really just made me think more creatively about what I wanted to do with my writing lockdowns and my scheduling and time management, because it really makes a difference in these challenges. So if you are intending to embark on that, make sure that you understand what your time needs are. Of course, make sure you're prepared as far as paper, pen, printer ink, paper, like printer paper. Make sure you have highlighters, whiteout, pen, I already said pens. Yeah, highlighter, whiteout, sticky notes, notepads, whatever you're going to need. Flash drives. I would suggest making a cloud account. Just a base thing for writing a book in general. I would suggest getting a cloud account to make sure that you can put it on either on Google Drive, Dropbox, what was it? OneDrive if you have Windows. I don't know what it is for Apple. Y'all know I don't have Apple nothing. I have an Android also. But also, if you have a phone, you can put writing apps on your phone and then get in some time and words while you're at work, while you're at school, while you're at the library, while you're sitting there, doing chores or something. You can just talk into your phone, do a voice recording of the book, of the chapter that you're trying to do, any changes that suddenly popped into your head. But again, that's just a general writing tip. Realistically, it is a amazing jump off point for people who are stuck. As I stated in my 30 things that I learned before 30, this is definitely a major game changer. If you are lacking confidence in your writing, in your creative work, in your marketing, in anything, use these challenges to really get, kick your ass into gear. That's all I have for you guys right now. And stay tuned because I have other writing videos that I'm going to post. I'm not really a writing, in my profession, in my opinion, I'm not really going to be one of those writer tubers. I'm more so a writer self-care person. So if you're a writer and you want to understand different things about yourself and be able to really call yourself on your own bullshit when it comes to your writing business and your writing journey, feel free to hit that subscribe button, hit the bell, and make sure that you get my notifications. And I'll see you guys next time.